Hey everyone, it's LaDon coming at you with two recipes. Um, the recipe is going to be for a butter I use on my hair in the winter time, and for my daily moisturizer, which I've promised you guys like forever. The reason I decided to do this today is because I used this in a video I uploaded earlier for this hairstyle. And whenever I pull this out, I always get comments, when are you going to post the video for your daily moisturizer? I had been holding off on the video because I've actually modified this recipe and I wanted to make sure that it would work well and that I liked it because, again, it's a modified recipe from what I typically put on my hair. I absolutely love it, so I'm ready to share it with you. Because I have so much of this, I'm not going to be doing an actual tutorial. I'm going to walk you through the recipe, give you all of the ingredients, so then you can replicate it at home. But I've had this for like a month and a half now, and as you can see, I still have a whole bunch left. So I didn't want you to have to wait until I actually have to make it again. All right, so I highly recommend these recipes. I use them, or the butter and the daily moisturizer, all last winter. We have hugely, incredibly cold, incredibly bitter winters here in Chicago. And I used water and these two products alone, sometimes with a leave-in conditioner, throughout the whole winter, and I did not experience any breakage. I didn't experience any split ends, no damage to the hair, um, and my hair remained moist the entire winter. I didn't have any issue with dryness. And so that's really a great thing and very favorable for my hair because I don't wear protective styles in the winter. I like to wear my hair out. So you have to be very careful of how you care for your hair during the winter months when you're dealing with such bitterness, such bitter cold. So I'm going to share with you the recipe now. I start out by making my butter. Um, and to make my butter, I use shea butter. This is 100% natural shea butter, and it comes from Ghana. And this is the yellow shea butter. I prefer yellow shea butter. Some people like white shea butter. I made a video on how to tell the difference between actual 100% shea butter and shea butter that's actually being marketed in the United States as being shea butter, but really is not. So check out that video and just make sure you're using actual shea butter. The other butter isn't bad. It's not shea butter. So I use 100% shea butter. I use honey. I'm out of that, but I use honey. I use grapeseed oil. I use extra virgin olive oil. And I use coconut oil, which I also don't have with me here right now. But those are, for the most part, the ingredients I use. Not for the most part. Those are the ingredients I use. I didn't add anything else. The reason I'm using the grapeseed oil, olive oil, and coconut oil is because those are the three oils my hair absolutely loves. They each have incredibly wonderful benefits for hair. Honey is a product I just started adding to this process. I had not used that before, but my hair loves honey. And I don't use a whole lot, but I use enough that it really does help to, add moisture and have my hair benefit from all the nutrients of the honey. So I'm going to start out by, I get my coconut or shea butter in chunks. So I get the kind that's already made into chunks, and I just grab, an adequate number of chunks based upon the amount I want to make. And this is for the butter. Okay, and then I take those chunks and I place it in a glass jar. You should use a jar that your tomato sauce comes in, or even that your if you have coconut oil that comes in jars like this, you could use that. You just want to make sure it has a wide enough mouth on it to get the chunks in. and you want to make sure that it is, again, one that has like tomato sauce comes in, or something like that, because those have been tested and they've been made in such a way that if this jar is exposed to heat, which it will be during this process, it will not bust on you, okay? That's very important. So make sure you use the right kind of jar. Don't use like a cup, or a glass that you have at home or anything like that. You want to use one of these type of jars, okay? So I take my shea butter and I place it in the jar, and then I add my oils. I add grapeseed oil, and I grab my my olive oil, and I also grab my coconut oil, and I add about, depending upon how much shea butter I've placed in this glass, I add an appropriate amount of grapeseed oil, um, extra virgin olive oil, and coconut oil, and I add it to this. Now, for example, if I was going to use a chunk of this size, I would probably add, I'd probably add like 2 tablespoons of each. Okay. And you want to check your texture. Just, you may want to add a little bit more, a little bit less, but you don't want the oils to overpower the shea butter, because you want the shea butter to be the predominant ingredient, if that makes sense. So I probably, would not add more than 2 tablespoons of each, to be perfectly honest. Then I take half a tablespoon of honey, and I also add it to the jar. All right. Then I take the jar and I just set it to the side. On the stove, I take a pot like this, and I will add like 2 cups of water, 2 or 3 cups of water, put it on the stove, and I'll let this pot boil. Once it boils, I let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. Then I remove it from the stove, and I take the jar that has the oils and the shea butter in it, and I set it inside. Okay, I set it inside the pot, and I leave it there until the shea butter has melted down completely. Okay, the reason I choose to do that, it's like using a double broiler, so a double boiler at home. So if you have like one of those double boilers at home, you could actually use that instead of this glass. But the reason I do that instead of putting the shea butter in, in this pot, and putting the oils in this pot and putting it on the stove, is because anytime you add like direct heat to, even vegetables, whatever it is, you actually lose some of the nutrients associated with, whatever the heat has been exposed to. So allowing it to just melt down in warm water helps you to retain some of the wonderful properties of the oils in your shea butter. So that's why I choose to do that. I don't even put the shea butter in the microwave, because essentially it's like the same thing, okay? So once it's melted down completely, you're just going to mix those oils and the shea butter together until it looks like it's been thoroughly mixed together, okay? And then I take the mixture and I pour it into a container, which is what I did here. I just pour it in like that. And then what I'll do is I will also kind of mix it a little bit more, while it's in here. And then I'll take this and I set it inside of the refrigerator. And I do that so it becomes solid. So it would look something like this. Okay. Once it has solidified, I'm all good. That is my butter. All done with it. That's what I use for my butter. If you like, you could actually take this and use a hand mixer, or if you have, one of the, you're a baker and you have, you know, the other types of mixers, which is what I have because I love to bake, you could actually take that, the shea butter, once it has stiffened up, and you could put it inside of your mixer, or use your hand mixer on it and make it fluffy if you wanted to, and you could have a, you know, a fluffy shea butter mix. I don't need all that. It's fine like this. For me, it is really great. It emulsifies really easily. It's great. Um, and I will use this on braid outs, twist outs, Bantu knot outs, and it's really awesome. Okay, so then I take, depending upon the size of my other container, I will take enough of this to fill this container um, about half of the way up. Then I take coconut oil and I fill it almost the rest of the way. So it's almost 50% shea butter and 50% coconut oil. Once I've added those two ingredients here, I add just a little bit more. I add 1 tablespoon of grapeseed oil, and I add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and I add half a teaspoon of honey to this. And then I mix all of those up together. And I just keep mixing it, making sure that the oil penetrates the shea butter, because I want this to be a primarily a coconut oil based product, because my hair really reacts well to coconut oil. If your hair reacts really well to olive oil, then use olive oil in place of the coconut oil. You know, whatever oil your hair predominantly likes, you could go with that. My hair loves the coconut oil, so that's what I use. And so then, you know, again, I add a little bit of the honey, and then I mix it all together, and I just let it sit like overnight, and then it comes out with a consistency like this. And, you know, you can see, I mean, it's pretty pliable. It moves around really well. So it's thick, but not too thick. When you put it on your fingertips, it emulsifies really easily, and it's really easy to, you know, do this with and spread on the hair. It spreads really, really well. It's not heavy, and it's not too light either. So you can use it in the summertime, and you can use it in really, really cold weather. And that is really it. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. I'm going to try to do another video. I'm going to try to do a tutorial on my butter, because I know that, you know, as you can see, I'm running out of this, and I like to use this on my body and on my hair. So I'm probably going to do another one of make another batch of that, and when I do that, I will record it for you. But I hope this is helpful in the meantime. If you have any questions regarding this, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and if you try it, let me know how you liked it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, rate, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.